Hello, everybody. I'm Zion Smith. Today's presentation is about traditional women and modern women. You may be wondering, why is Zion wearing the same shirt 3 weeks in a row? Well, at the time of this recording, it is August 10th. Uh, and this is my fourth presentation that I'm recording. So that is why. And obviously it's premiere, so that's why. But let's get to it. All right, and this is the thumbnail. Uh, Out of all four of these thumbnails that I created, this is my personal favorite. I just like the color purple, and it's a great color. I think it fits well. All right, so first I will talk about the definition of traditional women and modern women. Second, I will talk about the personality traits of traditional women and modern women, which is according to society. Uh, I will talk about why modern women are delusional, also according to society. Uh, Fourth, I will talk about why women are meant to be women, which is something that I believe. Finally, I will give my final thoughts. All right. What is the definition of a traditional woman? A traditional woman is the type of woman that will stay at home to cook, clean, and provide care for her children by loving them unconditionally while her husband works at his job to bring the money home. Traditional woman understands the value of a companion, husband, provider, a father, and not a baby daddy, according to greasefilms.com. If I'm saying it correctly. As I present this presentation, I am eating some delicious ravioli. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, it's my dinner. I'm going to put no more sugar on it. All right. What is the definition of a modern woman? According to society, to modern society, I should be saying, a modern woman is more independent than a traditional woman, which is something that I agree with. Because of the rise of jobs and technology in modern society, modern women have opportunities like traditional women in the 19th and 20th centuries, but the values of a traditional woman aren't appreciated enough because modern women want equality. Why is that? Well, you will have to wait for me to explain that. Modern women require more services from the government than traditional women who rely on their spouses. spouses, if I'm saying it correctly. Excuse me for my accent, ladies and gentlemen. This is according to greasefams.com. So, obviously, as you can see, I done some research between traditional women and modern women. Uh, the same thing for traditional men and modern men. I done a lot of research to get a better understanding and to also get knowledge. Knowledge is power. What are the personality traits of a traditional woman? Traditional women are affectionate, emotional, empathetic, helpful, kind, nurturing, or nurturance, I should be saying, supportive, understanding. And the personality traits of a modern woman are honest, independent, and toxic. This is according to modern society. And many people in modern society, also known as the generation that I live in, I can speak from experience and say that some people in the generation that I live in consider modern women to be toxic because of how they use a guy for his money. And yeah, just for his money. Uh, more modern women are independent because of the rise of jobs and because of the rise of technology and the generation that I live in. Personally, I agree that modern women in this generation are more independent than traditional women because traditional women only rely on their spouses and they didn't have a lot of opportunities back in the day. And going back to that last night, you may be wondering, how are modern women honest? Well, I feel like uh, a lot of modern women are more honest than traditional women because of social media. You know, with social media, anyone can go on the internet and say whatever they want. So, you know, with that resource, they are able to go on social media and say whatever they want, and you know, yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. Why modern women are delusional, according to society. Modern women are delusional because they have false beliefs of how men are perceived. Um, I agree with this. And the reason why I agree with that statement is because, in my opinion, I feel like a lot of modern women perceives a man differently. You know, some modern women may think that just because a man has money, then okay, let me rephrase that. Some modern women thinks in their head that because a man goes out to work, works his butt off for his money, he makes his money, find a beautiful woman in his life, and when that woman finds that man who makes the money for himself, he perceives him differently because just because he have money, that makes him valuable, that makes him uh, attractive, just because he have money and he has status. And this can be delusional for a woman to think like that in a modern society because yeah, he has the money, but have you taken a chance to see what his personality is like and to get to know him better? I feel like that's the case for a lot of modern women in this society today. And number two, modern women are delusional because of their false beliefs of how men should treat women. Now, a couple weeks ago, I was more sugar. Anyway, a couple weeks ago, I was on YouTube and I watched this interesting video. If I had to summarize it in one word, ridiculous. I watched the video and the woman was asked, what does she offer to the table? You know, what she bring to the table? And all she said was, I bring my, if you know the word that I'm going to say, it was that word. I'm not going to say it because it's on YouTube. But yeah, she said that. She said, all I have to offer is my my goodies. And when I offered that to him, I'm gonna take his money. I'm gonna take his car, everything like that. And I was like, this is just, it's ridiculous and it's so delusional for her to think like that because men are the prize. I believe that 100%. Hell, my nickname is the prize. I know the value that I bring to the table. And I know that when I was watching that video, that woman must not know the value that men bring to the table. You know, men bring protection. Men bring of course, a man will be able to provide for a woman when he has the money. So protection, financial stability if I'm saying it correctly. Uh, a lot of men are direct and honest, so of course he will bring honesty. Uh, and I'm sure a man who is true to himself and true to his friends, and he doesn't backstab his friends when he achieves a certain amount of success, is loyal. So of course he will bring loyalty to the table as well. So a lot of men has a lot of things to offer to the table, and I feel like a lot of modern women out there doesn't realize that. They are so blind to the fact that if a man has money, that's all he has to offer. I don't feel like that's the case. Let me ask you a question. To all the women out there, would you settle for a man who has money? And I'm talking about money for days, but he treats you like garbage. Or would you settle for a man who doesn't have money at all, or he has little to no money, but he's still hardworking? You know, he has a great mindset. He's willing to put in the effort day in and day out. And also treats you like the only woman in the world. Who would you settle for? I feel like a lot of modern women nowadays would settle for a man who makes all the money in the world and has money for days, but would get treated like garbage. I don't get it. I don't understand. Maybe it's because a modern woman wants an alpha male or a bad guy or an asshole. Excuse my language, but yeah, yeah. Do I believe modern women are delusional? Yes and no. I believe that there are some women out there who doesn't think like this and who is dying for a man like me. Not to be angry or nothing, but who is dying for a man to treat her with respect, you know, to love her for her. Yeah, yeah. Women are meant to be women. Men are meant to be men. I believe that 100%. Here's why. I believe women are meant to be emotional. Women are emotional creatures after all. I believe women are meant to be gatherers. Meaning that uh, they should be doing the cooking. You know, they should be doing the cleaning. It doesn't mean that a man shouldn't have to do this, because he can do that as well for his children. But it is the purpose for a woman, and I can speak from experience. Women are meant to be organized. I'm sorry, but I feel like a woman who is very organized is much more organized than a man. Women are meant to be self-sufficient. I can't say that word, but I'm sure you know what I'm trying to say. Uh, a good woman takes good care of herself, and doesn't always have to rely on people. Women are meant to be very smart in their decision making. Women are meant to be spontaneous, if I'm saying it correctly. My final thoughts. I believe many modern women and the generation that I live in doesn't appreciate the values or what it means to be a traditional woman. In my opinion, I feel like women in my generation aren't as traditional anymore. It isn't appreciated because some women wants to be independent to the point when they feel like they don't need a man in their life, and they feel like they could do it all, and they could do everything a man does. This is unrealistic, and dare I say, impossible. I do believe that 100%. I feel like some women in my generation doesn't fully know what they bring to the table. I'm not saying this to be harsh. I'm just being honest. Because of the rise of social media, uh, women can easily judge a man for his looks if he's not a good looking guy. Uh, and then if he's not that good looking, women in my generation, they can automatically assume that that man doesn't have any money and he's broke. He doesn't have this, he doesn't have that. Yeah. Who's better? Well, obviously, I compare traditional women and modern women. So I do believe that traditional women are much better than modern women in terms of personality traits and meanings. Uh, my final thoughts. I believe some modern women who perceives a man differently because of his money. Or thinks that a man should be able to pay for her hair, her nails, hands and feet, uh, dinner dates, her clothes, everything like that. What does a man has to do? You know, a man should always satisfy her in the bed. What does a man have to do? Is I'm saying that man has a heart? Absolutely. Speaking from experience, it is very hard to be a man. I know this because we can get judged easily. If we go out, if we approach a woman and let's say I don't have the best outfit on, that woman could tell me, "Oh, I have a boyfriend." But if another man approaches her and he has designer clothes, he has clothes that costs more than $1,000, he's gonna let him approach her. But he could be the biggest a-hole on earth and treat her like garbage. And that woman will still be in love with that. I don't get it. So I do believe that's how some women in my generation thinks nowadays. Because of the rise of social media and what people are saying on the internet, especially in the music industry. Don't get me started with that. Yeah. A lot of modern women listen to that crap too. And they get it into their head, and then, yeah, the rest is history. So, those are my thoughts. I'm Zion Smith. Always and forever.